In the third quarter of Winona State's September 27th game against Minnesota Duluth, running back Burkett injured his ACL. That ended an inspirational story of a player who had been injured in each of the last 3 seasons. What was it like for the team to see Burkett go down with an injury again?
Well, it was really like, my own kid was done. It really was. I mean, I've had a 6-year relationship with this kid. In fact, he spent a lot of time with my son, so a kid that I know very well. He's been through a lot, more than most kids, and as much as anybody I've ever been through with his injuries he's had, the surgeries, the concussion, and he kept fighting. He kept coming back, and all of a sudden he just cutting on open air and blows his ACL. My heart just sunk for him, and so it was a personal feeling of, oh man, well, why him again? But you know what? He rallied and he's back and he's being part of what he can be now that he's had surgery.
Your heart just aches for a kid like that because of the time and effort that he had put into not only coming back, the first time, but then coming back the second time like he did. Just to have him playing as well as he was playing for those first 3.5 games, and then when he got hurt in the Duluth game, you can't really put into words as a coach, how crushing it is for you.
But the concern at the moment had to be short-lived. The game has to go on, and the coaching staff was prepared.
Unfortunately, that's one of those positions that, as a football program, if you're not prepared to have more than one running back ready to go, you're going to struggle. And we've been in a situation the last few years where we have had a couple guys ready to go to step in when there is a situation if a guy goes down. And so when Theo went down, it wasn't any change for us to have Paul ready to go. Paul was already playing. We already had him on the field even when Theo was still healthy.
I just thought that I had to keep doing what I've been doing the whole season. When he was tired or whatever, I had to come in and fill for him. I thought I did a pretty good job doing that, and I just had to keep that going. I knew I would eventually get my time. It was a little sooner than I thought, but I think I was ready for it.
That's part of sport. So you also understand that, in our game, kids get hurt, and we understand that. The next guy's got to be ready, and Paul Preston was the next guy. It's a completely different back, but at the same time, Paul's responded to that too. He's had two games of 100 plus yards, and so one guy goes down, another one's opportunity.
The reality is the only change for us was trying to figure out who would be the other back to come in after Paul goes in. So, for Paul to be able to step in and carry the load, which probably isn't his forte, it has been fun to see. But, the reality is we haven't changed any of our game plans because of him. Everybody says, well, because of his size, he may not be able to run between the tackles, but he actually probably is better between the tackles because, people have a tough time finding him, and he's pretty slippery in those cracks, and once he finds a crease, he's gone.
I do. I like the contact. I like the physical part of the sport. So people say I can't run between the tackles because I'm small, but that's actually the part I like. I've been doing it my whole life, so I'm used to it now. I kind of use the linemen to my advantage. They can't see me, coming out, and I burst through the hole, so it's fun. I like doing it.
Preston has flourished in his new feature back role, gaining 100-plus yards against Minnesota State and Upper Iowa.
After the Mankato game, as coaches, we hate to find those moral victories and the little silver linings because, the ultimate goal is to win. But you walk out of that game against probably the most statistically sound defense in the country. They're only giving up 8 points a game. They haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher in 2 or 3 years or something crazy like that, and all of a sudden he goes and runs for 130 yards, and I think it's something that you do build on.
Well, it's awesome. I'm really excited for that young man because he's always challenged as being a short guy, and people have always said that he can't do this and he can't do that, and he went and took the #1 team in the nation and rushed for over 100 against them. It's a compliment to him and also our young offensive line. So that was a major accomplishment for him and his development as well as the future of our running game.
Like I said, I think our O-line has really stepped up their play the last couple games, so that has definitely helped. Jack Nelson's been playing great, and like I said, we have such great wide receivers on our team that the defense has to respect them. You got an All-American like Josh Mikas, who is getting double covered every play. It really opens up holes for us running backs, not only me. You got DC, Dyrell Clark, scoring touchdowns too, so everyone's getting in on the fun.